as I get started, I'd like to ask you a show of hands. How many of you have lived 500 kilometers from home? Lived, not traveled. 1,000 kilometers from home. Good crowd. 5,000 kilometers from home. Excellent. Lots of people here. Fellow Toastmasters, this is the question that I have to ask you today, is would you consider moving abroad, moving to a country that you haven't lived in before, and uprooting your family, creating a life? This is something that I did. In 1996, I, as a single man, bored, decided to move to Korea for a year. Korea is quite a ways from here. I hadn't traveled much before, and I had a choice in 1996. I had a job in Korea, or I had a job teaching upgrading in Keana College in Fort McMurray. 25 years old and bored. They offered me a house, they offered me an airplane ticket, and a salary. I figured, okay, this is a good opportunity for me. For a year. This was the start of an adventure. Up until that point, I had not traveled very much. I had not been on airplanes, and so getting on the airplane was quite an adventure for me, because on the way over, they stuck me in a middle seat. I don't like middle seats. I don't fit very well. And so that was the start of this adventure. I get to Korea, and the first thing that happened to me is I was given a phone number, and this is back in the day before cell phones, right? 1996. And so I was given a phone number. I was told to get off the plane, catch a bus, go downtown Seoul. I don't speak Korean. Call this number, and a man is supposed to flash his flashlight out the window to say that I'm in the right place. Thankfully, that happened. And so I get there, and he takes me to this motel room because he's the guy that recruited me. And I had to catch another bus to a smaller town 3 hours away from Seoul. This happened. The person that was supposed to pick me up was late. So I'm sitting in a bus station in Gwangju going, oh my God, where am I? Oh my God, where am I? But she showed up, and I got introduced to the job, and I got introduced to why I was there in the first place. Then, life starts to happen. Living in Korea, English, not many people actually spoke English. Not many people, or even fewer people, spoke the second language that I knew, which was French. English was useless, French was useless. And so this initial culture shock, and this issue of culture shock included this. This became one of my very good friends. Because as opposed to its general use here in Canada, you see bathroom tissue on the tables in restaurants. You see it everywhere. You see it on kitchen tables. This is not just bathroom tissue, but it is used as that as well. And so most people that I knew actually started carrying a roll in their backpack. Because the most important part of having bathroom tissue is to go to the bathroom. Public washrooms back in 1996 did not stock it. If you don't carry it, you don't get to use it. Very important that you had to learn this. And so with the school, I became more accustomed to life. I became more accustomed to living in Korea, and the job, the routines, all of these things that make life interesting. And there's travel. Korea is a great place to travel. There's dating, because yes, dating happens. I met my wife over there. 2 children. I said, I went there for 1 year. I came back 19 years later. I'm not sure that my family was fully impressed with me leaving. But all of these things contribute to challenges. And so the question I had for you at the beginning was, would you? Would you travel, or would you move to somewhere that you didn't speak the language? Many of you have already indicated that, yes, you have done this. But how about your children now? You're here, and life carries on. Would you want your children to do that same thing? That's a question that I'd like to ask you. For me, it was valuable. I enjoyed it. I came back with much more than I left. Life carries on. Thank you.